All right. KwaZulu-Natal Premier Thami Ntuli has raised concerns over reckless behaviour by some motorists in the province. It comes after 3,000 motorists were arrested for drinking and driving. During the festive season, the province has also recorded gruesome murders, among them the killing of 4 family members in Port Shepstone during a suspected robbery on New Year's Eve. Joining us now to discuss the province's security strategy, the response to the recent violence in KwaZulu-Natal, and of course the return of folks to their homes post this holiday season is KZN Premier Thami Ntuli. Ntuli, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it, Premier. It's certainly a difficult month when you have any killings, but to have a situation where you're continuously facing so many, are there flaws in South Africa's security parameters here that have evaded us, or are these just things that sometimes you just cannot prevent and hope that people just adhere to more safety? Good morning.
Good morning, Phakathwayo, to yourself and everyone in the studio, in particular your viewers at home. I wish them a happy New Year 2026 and a prosperous one. Well, I think is the mentality of the people in a way, and also the issue of the drugs and alcohol abuse seems to be a factor in the aggressiveness. When you talk about the killings of the people, when you talk about the accidents in the roads, you'll find that those factors, they still contribute. However, also when it comes to the roads, the issue of the roadworthiness of the cars and speeding, they also are factors that are also contributors. But you'll find that there are underlying factors to those factors, which could be the issue of alcohol abuse and also the issue of drug abuse. It's a societal problem that requires that more engagements are actually induced to ensure that the entire society is talking about this problem, because when you want to correct a situation in the society, you need the entire society to play the role. But I'm quite happy with the law enforcers, their visibility and the way they do their work. Even the police, I was saying the police of KwaZulu-Natal that are led by Lieutenant General Itala Bank as the provincial commissioner, who's providing good leadership in SAPS in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. They are able to do work quite diligently, even for cases that happened where no one might have come out to say, I saw something. They are able to investigate and arrest. That is a good work the police are doing. I think the law enforcers in its entirety, including the Metro Police, including the safety structures, they are working quite to a strength in the province. And I'm quite confident that in no time, the impact will show some more positive results, as the results, the stats that we shared yesterday were an indication that crime stats is decreasing.
Sure. And I suppose that becomes the worry. Look, it may be decreasing. It just doesn't feel sufficient, I suppose, when we continue to be reporting on a family that has had 4 people pass away, and you have 4 people who are, of course, being looked for in the province as well. It's a culture thing. And it feels as though in order to eradicate it, there needs to be harsher measures. Is it time to be looking at things, whether it be bylaws, whether it be laws in general, whether it be how law enforcement does their tasking and their work within the province, to be a little bit more vigorous, a little bit more task-orientated? I know you're speaking about how the Lieutenant General Ntantla Mkhonazi's force here has been very helpful in getting this right. But even the loss of one life is just one too many.
Well, I think the other problem when it comes to that, people have illegal firearms. It's easy to acquire an illegal firearms. But the police, out the same breath, are doing quite wonderful, because the report I received was that they were able to confiscate more than 500 firearms. whether homemade or others that are bought illegally. That is another problem. Number two, the problem of you see grudges that exist in families, and even the beliefs that someone is a witchcraft, then we have to come together and attack as a family and attack that particular family because we believe that they're involved in witchcraft. There are some of the cases when it comes to the rural communities. Hence, we've been on discussion with the traditional leaders so as to encourage that they induce quite more engagements to discourage the belief that whenever you have challenges in your life, someone is bringing that calamity to your family. And what our analysis will always show is that the elderly people who might be not in a normal state of thinking, they are the ones who are the victims. Hence, we had even a program in December to say, let us really understand the elderly citizens.
Yeah, very important to be able to understand them too. Just to speak about this blitz overall, you were able to meet and really walk around ordinary South Africans, ordinary people visiting or living in KZN in that blitz yesterday, and you've done this many times before. Were you able to speak to people and find out what their fears are? Because when you start looking at, as I said earlier, that 4 family members in Port Shepstone, it highlights that persistent violent environment that still lives in KZN. Were those some of the fears that they held yesterday?
Not exactly. You see, those incidents, like the one you were mentioning in Port Shepstone, in a rural community, is an incident that is still being investigated. In the main, typical incidents, they've proven to have been triggered by the beliefs, which are unfortunate, that that family is involved in witchcraft in the past. I'm not saying in this one because the police are still investigating this incident. But walking about beaches yesterday to monitor the visibility of the law enforcers and to engage citizens who were there, who were coming from all over South Africa and even from abroad. It was a joyous, in fact, a feeling to the people there, in particular, when they saw us walking in the beach with Lieutenant General Ntuli Mkhwanazi. In fact, they were saying the work that the police are doing, they are assuring safety to them. They give an assurance of stability. And that is why they were saying we're coming from all over because we feel KZN is one of the safer spaces.
Yeah, very important one there. Just again to that drunk driving arrests and crime incidents involving young people, over 3,000 people arrested for drunk driving. How do we prevent that and stop that now? Because it just feels like it continues to linger on. What can you do as a province?
I think one of the things which I will also say, the collaborative efforts, which is a multi-sectoral approach, has yielded results because more than 2,000 illegal alcohol outlets were identified and closed down, which in our view, they also contribute because they don't have operating hours. Whoever comes at any time, they will continue selling out alcohol, even to people who are underage. Hence, that is part of a strategy which we think is a working strategy. And the Department of Economic Development, Tourism and Environmental Affairs has been on the process to review with the Liquor Board the terms and conditions of operating or the operating licenses. Because other concerns were hours that are given to taverns. When people can still buy alcohol even early in the morning by 1 a.m., 2 a.m., that becomes a problem. So that are some of the issues which are there, which we believe if we're able to address them, we will have minimal people who will be seen using alcohol even at odd hours.
Sure.
However, the problem is with our society that our message has been always to discourage the taking of alcohol when you are to drive. Every national government, provincial government, local government, they are even aware that police are on the street.
Yeah.
What is therefore important is that that needs that they are conscious, resonate with the messages that taking alcohol while you drive, you are putting your life in danger.
Yeah, and it's going to have to be a stark message and a really, really firm one. Premier, we're running out of time, but I'd be remiss if I didn't actually ask you about this, because it's not in relation to the safety blitz, but a month ago, almost exactly a month ago now, you had promised people that they'd be able to access their funds when it comes to Itala Bank before Christmas. We're now past Christmas. How far are we? Because it feels as though no announcement with regards to that has yet been made for sure. And what does the future of Itala Bank now look like?
Well, as we announced, it happened the way we announced, but we anticipated that there will be some challenges along the way. I got a call from someone who was indicating that he was still being processed. But the assurance is that no one, in fact, will end up not getting the money. Already, people started getting their money before Christmas, as I announced, and there's still some being processed. And the future of Itala is, in fact, to me or to us as the federal government, a good future. We are engaging on the options on a path that might be not short, which will help to revive and resuscitate Itala to become what it originally was meant to be, because Itala Soc or Itala Bank was meant to empower communities that are disadvantaged, so that they are able to participate in economic activities. Hence, it's important that we prioritize to resuscitate it. We are engaging, and there will be a meeting early in January, which will take an important decision, which we will announce after we've taken that decision.
Going to be very important to be able to do that. And Pemba, unfortunately, we have run out of time. Thank you so much for joining us again. As you said, a happy new year to you. We'll continue to be interrogating everything in and around the province to ensure that residents of KZN indeed are served well in your tenure. The Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, Thami Ntuli. Let's recap your top stories.